Okay, I would like you to look at the statement. Mary's brother bought 3 horses. When you heard something like this one, when you heard this statement, what comes into your mind? Okay, can I start with Thủy Dung, please?
I think that we can conclude that Mary has a brother and he has just bought 3 horses.
Okay, thank you very much. Khánh Mai.
I share the same idea with Miss Dung. Mary has a brother, and her brother bought some horses.
Okay, thank you very much. Actually, actually in here we don't conclude anything. When the speaker say that Mary's brother bought 3 horses, in his or her mind, he or she presupposes something. He has some kind of image in his or her mind. And what are they? Actually, first of all, there is a person whose name Mary exists. Mary's brother certainly have someone whose name Mary. But actually, if we don't have anybody named Mary exists, we cannot say Mary's brother. So first of all, when you say Mary brother, certainly Mary exists. Next one, she has a brother. She has a brother. Okay, các chị. Sao? Gì vậy? Ai vậy? Hello.
Con bạn cuối cùng là con đó hả?
Gì ạ Tuyền Nguyễn? Đang share điều gì ạ Tuyền? Âm thanh gì lạ vậy?
Em đang nói với cháu em thì nó chưa viết bài.
Ok, mấy đứa cháu này hư lắm á. Okay, các anh chị, khi when you heard the term Mary brothers, so we assume that Mary has a brother. Nếu như chúng ta học cái bài presupposition này trước thì chúng ta khi mà chúng ta nhớ lại cái câu chuyện của Jeff and Tracy á, thì ví dụ như tôi là bạn thân của chồng chị, ngay cái câu đó nó lại là một lời cáo buộc. Chúng ta chưa nói về speak acts ở trong đó, nhưng mà như vậy là rõ ràng tôi là bạn thân của chồng chị, là chị đã có chồng, và thứ hai anh ấy là bạn của tôi, rồi hoặc là ok, vợ anh cũng khỏe chứ đó, chẳng hạn gì những cái câu như vậy. Đó là nó cái bản thân trong câu đó, cái the speaker hay something in his or her mind and presuppose something. And what else from this one? Mary has only one brother, so because in here they didn't indicate that one of the brothers, so just say Mary's brother. And bought 3 horses. So in order to bought 3 horses, he has a lot of money, or he has been very rich. Also, all of these presuppositions are made by the speaker before, prior to making the statement. The speaker has something in his or her mind, and no presupposition can be wrong, can be right or can be wrong. So remember, Mary, in here we can say that Mary brother bought something, bought 3 horses, bought 2 or bought 1 horses, and many other similar logical consequences. So from this, from the sentence, we can conclude something from the sentences. Okay, and all of these come from the sentences, not come from the speaker. Presupposition come from the speaker. Has we say that when the speaker make the statement, he or she has some presupposition, but from reading the sentences, we can conclude that Mary brother bought something, bought animals, and all of the consequences, and they follow from the sentences, regardless whether the speaker believes right or wrong. So this one we call entailment, and this one we call presupposition. Presupposition happen or take place prior than the time of the utterances, and the entailment as something logical follow the statement or the sentences made. So as a summary, I would like to say that here, a definition of presupposition. Presupposition is something the speaker assumed to be the case prior to making an utterance. Speaker, not sentence, have presupposition. And entailment is something that logical follows what is inserted in the utterances. Sentences, not speaker, have entailment. So there are two different things. Now continue. So when we talk about presupposition, we mentioned the relationship between the two propositions. For example, I would like you to look at those statements. Mary dog is cute. So that's we can say that's an utterance. That's one presupposition. That's a proposition. And Mary has a dog. And Mary has a dog and her dog is cute. Okay, so when we negate one of them, it means the same. Okay, for example, we say that Mary dog isn't cute, so not be. Mary has a dog. So even not be, we can conclude that we can have the second statement, Mary has a dog. So that means Mary has a dog regardless the dog is cute or not cute. So in this case, the relationship of the presupposition doesn't change. Now I go back one more slide so that we can know what it is. So Mary dog is cute. From this one, we have the presupposition be from P, we have cute. That's Mary has a dog. So it is the positive one when we negating the statement. When we say that Mary dog isn't cute, still we have the presupposition is that Mary has a dog. So we mean that when we negate the statement, the relationship remain the same. Okay, and that's why we consider constancy under negation. So the presupposition remain the same even though we negate the statement. For example, in statement A, everybody knows that John is gay, and this is the positive. So the presupposition in here is John is gay. Or when we negate it, everybody doesn't know that John is gay, and we have the same presupposition. So we can see that B or not B still have the same presupposition that John is gay. Very shortly, I would like to introduce about the types of presupposition. Okay, so they are very different from each other, but I would like you to look at the book very quickly to distinguish between the types of presupposition, please. First, existential. Usually, it's shown in possessive construction or possessive case. When we say your car, that means the presupposition is you have a car. Or we can use that in definite noun phrase. The king of Sweden, the cat, the girl next door, the counting crowds. The speaker is seem to be committing the existence of the entity named. For example, when you say the king of Sweden, we assume that in Sweden there is or there was a king. Or when we say the cat, we mean that there's a cat exists before, prior to making the statement. Or factive. Okay, I skip up that. Factive presupposition. It shows with the word know, realize, react, be aware, ought, or class. Look at the example, please. So the statement, for example, we say that she didn't realize he was ill. The presupposition actually is he was ill. We regret telling him. So it means that presupposition will be we told him. Or we say that I wasn't aware that she was married. And the presupposition is she was married. Or it's not that he left early. And the presupposition is he left early. Or in number 5, we say I'm glad, I'm happy that it's over. So presupposition is over. And it shows the fact. So we consider those are factive presupposition. Continue. Look at the lexical presuppositions. Okay, in terms of lexical, that means we use some of the word. The word itself show us what the presuppositions are. For example, when we say he stopped smoking, so what do you think presupposition in this case? Phương
He
Quyên,
used to
please.
smoke.
He used to smoke.
Yeah, that's right. When we say he stopped smoking, that means he used to smoke. When we say they started complaining, that means the presupposition is they weren't complaining before. Or we say you are late again. With the term again, the presupposition can be you were late before. So the word itself, it shows the meaning, it shows the presupposition. We consider them lexical presupposition. And here are some summary. For example, we say manage to do something. The word manage itself means succeeding in some way. Or when we say didn't manage, that means did not succeed. But even though when we say manage or we say didn't manage, the presupposition in here, that means the person tried to do something. So in terms of the meaning, it interprets the meaning of succeeded and the presupposition is tried. Okay, the use of one form with it inserted meaning is conventionally interpreted with the presupposition that another meaning is understood. How can you understand this one? I would like you to look at the conclusion and then we explain one by one. Okay, in order to understand the conclusion, the use of one form is inserted in conventionally interpreted with the presupposition that another meaning is understood. I would like you to go back to the example, please. Look at the example. In this case, when we say that someone managed to do something or someone didn't manage to do something, the inserted meaning in here is that we can say that let's say succeeded or didn't succeed. But the presupposition, that means the meaning that we don't try to say, that still people can have the presupposition in the mind is somebody had tried to do something. So try is one thing and being succeeded is another thing. Even though when we say manage or didn't manage, it's still presuppositions in here is trying to do something. Okay, I come up with another one in terms of the structural presupposition. So look at those examples. When did he leave? Where did you buy the bike? The presupposition in here, when you ask the question, when did he leave? That means in your mind, you believe that he's left. Or we say, where did you buy the bike? That means you bought the bike already. Okay, I would like you to remember when we use certain sentence structure, we presupposing part of them to be the truth. And we say that the speaker used such structure to teach information a presupposed. In theory, it's very difficult to understand, but I would like to give you an example. So when you know that when we use certain structure, we mean something or we presuppose something. Okay, look at this example. You were standing at intersection or the crossroad one evening. You didn't notice whether the traffic signal had turned into red before a car went through the intersection, or you didn't notice whether it's in red or green or yellow, and the car were immediately involved in the crash. You were the witness to the crash, and later you are asked a question: how fast would the car going when it ran the red light? Okay, what happened if you answer this question? Hyung, please.
If you answer this question, then it means that you confirm that the car has crossed the light, when the light turned to red.
Okay, exactly. That's the one. So when the lawyer, for example, asks you the question, how fast would the car go in when it ran the red light? The lawyer or the person who asked the question presuppose that it ran the red light already. If you answer the question, for example, you say that, okay, I think that the car will go in very slowly or at a certain speed. That means when you answer so, you accept the fact that it ran the red light. So the information is presupposed in the statement. So they say that if you just answer the question, that you estimate the speed of the car, or you say that it was going very slowly, you appear to accept the truth of the presupposition. So when the people saying that how fast would the car go in when it ran the red light, if you answer the question, that means you accept the fact that the presupposition that it ran the red light. Okay, I'll give you another example. In Vietnamese, chúng ta thấy là có một vài cái trường hợp mà chúng ta sẽ presuppose nó nằm ở trong cái câu nói của người nói. Ví dụ như những cái cáo buộc ở trong đó. Anh có tận mắt chứng kiến tôi ăn cắp không? Nói cái câu đó có nghĩa là cái việc mà tôi có tận mắt hay không có tận mắt thì cũng không xóa được cái vụ là anh ăn cắp ở phía sau, đúng không? Khi đặt câu hỏi đó, sử dụng cái structure đó thì có nghĩa là trong đó nó đã bao gồm một cái presupposition rồi. Okay, so remember in some structure presupposition, the structure itself involved in some kind of presupposition. I would like to skip the theory in here and move to another one. We come to the non-factive presupposition. Now, non-factive, we have factive, and now we have non-factive presupposition. Non-factive presupposition is one that seems not to be true. So factive is something to be true, and non-factive is something not to be true. For example, in factive, we use the word like regret, realize, glad. Now we use the word like dream, imagine, pretend. So after those words, the information or the presupposition will be something not really true. For example, I dream that I will rich. With the word dream, mean I was not rich. Or when we say, we imagine we were in Hawaii, when we use the word imagine, the presupposition is we were not in Hawaii. Or he pretends to be ill. So presupposition is he is not ill. Now, next, we talk about the counterfactual presupposition. We have factive, non-factive, and now counterfactual presupposition. So I would like you to read your book and tell me what is counterfactual presupposition.
Yes, teacher. A counterfactual presupposition means that what is presupposed is not only not true, but is the opposite of what is true, on the contrary to the facts.
Okay, that's right. So we distinguish between all of these. Factive means something to be true. Non-factive means the presupposition is not true. And counterfactual is not true and opposite to the true. Opposite to something is true, or contrary to the facts, contrary to the truth. Okay, so for example, when we say, if you were my friend, you would have helped me. So the fact that you are not my friend, that's the opposite to the truth. Okay,